In today's Sharp Saturday video, we're going to take a look at the cheapest throwing knives on Amazon. I can't wait for you to see what's inside. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. And by the way, stick around to the very end. I think you might get a smile out of that. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me for another Sharp Saturday video where it's Saturday, we take a look at something sharp. And as I said today, that something sharp is this, the cheapest set of throwing knives on Amazon. So we're gonna open this box up and show you the goodness inside right after this word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Hog Holsters. Hog Holsters are made in the USA in Arizona, and they are without a doubt the most comfortable concealable holster I've ever tested. You can save 10% on your order at Hog Holsters by using the coupon code Survival on Purpose, all one word. That's hogholsters.com. Thanks to Hog Holsters for sponsoring today's video. Okay, trying to give you a little close up here. Here's the box they come in. These things are $8.40. And that makes each of them $2.80 a piece. They are made by SECO company in Pakistan. We looked at one of their survival knives, or patch knife, I think it was, not too long ago. So let's take a look at these, and I'll show you kind of what's about them. So put the box away. First of all, there are 3 knives, and they are stainless steel, is all it says on them. And it says they are coated black for a sleek look. So, and then they come with a high quality leather sheath. First, let's just see if they'll all go in the sheath, and you can make a determination of what the level of quality is of this sheath. There it is. So let's see if we can take a look at the knives now. Kind of a mixed bag, and I'm gonna try to zoom in on this, but like this one's kind of flat on the, got a nice flat blunt tip. This one is a little better, but it's still kind of a ridge, and this one seems like it's sort of sharp. Or the sharpest of the 3 anyway, and that's what really matters. The edges are sharper than I usually see on a throwing knife. I mean, they have some sort of a ground edge on them, and I wish they had carried that through very, very well into the point, because these aren't very, very heavy knives. They're very lightweight. They're 7 inches long. So I think we should check the rotational balance of these on our balance, orientation, and rotation device. Don't you? Now, based on my experience, I don't throw lightweight, smaller knives as well. You may have the same experience if you're learning. So I got to get myself a little closer than maybe I might start out, and we'll give it a shot. Also, these things are very, very lightweight, so they might bounce around a little bit. So hopefully we won't lose any of them, but I guess there's no sense installing anymore. Let's do the first calibration throws. Science is important, right? Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's try again. I'm gonna try a little, maybe no spin from up close to see if I can kind of get the balance of these things. We'll try. I always start my no spin really close, but you gotta be careful. I'm deadly from 2 feet. But harmless from 4. So let's try some full spin now. Since I don't seem to be sticking them, I might as well use this time up for a little bit of rambling. So I know there are some people that say, put your throwing foot forward and don't move and don't wind up like a baseball. But I can't help myself from getting a little, I want to put some body into it because I want to put some more force behind it. So I know I'm not, maybe that's why I'm not sticking it. Maybe I'll try it the preferred way. That's going to make me look. That's so far it's 1 out of 40 using this way. So let's try again. Man, I got to get some goats. It's 2 out of 3.
Chuck Norris doesn't sleep. He waits.
Okay, well, as you can see, not only was I unable to stick 3 at the same time, I also lost one in the jungle. That is the rear of my yard. So I got to get a magnet and find it, and then maybe a bush hog or herd of goats. But anyway, that being said, I got to say, I know these things are cheap. I do not recommend them. If you're trying to learn to throw knives, the last thing you need to be doing is fighting your equipment. And these things are not easy to throw. They're so lightweight. I highly recommend Cold Steel. Has some really budget-friendly throwing knives that work really well. The True Flight Thrower, some other ones. I've got some videos on the channel. I'll put some links to those below. And they're very, very easy to throw compared to something like this. They've got more mass and more length, more weight. For me, I like to have at least, between 10 inches to 12 inches of a knife, and then, fairly thick, at least maybe 1/8 of an inch thick, or maybe even a little thicker. So just do some weight to it, and with a really sharp point. That's what's important on throwing knives, is a really sharp point. These edges don't really matter. Just the part that whatever would penetrate the target. So there's nothing wrong with having the sides sharp like this one is. I guess really that could be preferable in the long run, but it's got to have a really good point on it. And anyway, I like to have some weight on mine. So if you've been looking for some budget throwing knives, and you saw these and thought maybe these would be great, honestly, I wouldn't recommend it. They're just way too lightweight and a little too small. Certainly for any kind of a beginner. And I don't think very many experts are going to be throwing a lot of these. So enough said about that. Anyway, if you have been trying to find some budget throwing knives, I hope this video has been helpful and somewhat informative. And I really sincerely appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time. Wow.